What's up, people? Doing a live stream for the Wind Waker. Really quick before we start, just want to say that if you have any questions, specifically ones that don't involve which game I'm going to be covering next, I'd be happy to answer them. I'm usually good about answering it honestly. And you may notice that we have a rock here. This recommendation came from Swanky Box. He said that he noticed this himself, and he said that if you throw a rock into the water, it doesn't disappear. I'm willing to give that a try, so hopefully I don't mess this up somehow. Okay, take the water. And check that out. Oh, it's still going down! Let's try to get Link into the shot. There we go. You know, I have a feeling that the rock's not going to stop going down. That's just a guess. Oh, no, it does disappear. Okay, cool. So, I also will be taking suggestions for what you want to see in Wind Waker. Let's see, any questions so far? Just a lot of people saying, oh my god, and hi. What's up, people? How's it going? Let's see. How about a zoom out of Outset Island for you folks before we depart. Oh, that was one suggestion that people wanted to see a lot, was what's on this part of the island here. And apparently I didn't cover that in the episode. So, there you go. This is why it wasn't in the episode. There's literally nothing here. It's all a mirage. Not a mirage. An illusion. Which is kind of like a mirage, but not the same. Let's see, real quick. Alright. Oh, did we lose a... Oh, we lost the save state where we were on the ocean. But that's okay. I can just do this. Go to Tingle Island. I can read all your comments now, for the record, so... Yeah. Why are you all... You're all saying hi. What's going on? I'm going to call one of you out by name. Snowman38. There you go. Alright, so some of you want to know what happens when you take the camera below the ocean. We kind of just saw that with the rock. But, there you go. That's what happens when you're below that solid blue ocean water. You get a little bit of dark blue, followed by just nothingness. That's the void, I believe, for Wind Waker. And if we were to zoom the camera out, this is how much of the ocean's out there at any given time. Sorry. Like I always say in every single live stream, it's a little difficult to control the camera when you're live streaming because you don't have it at full screen. But, well, we do the best we can. As you can see, ocean as far as the eye can see until you hit the world's end. So, we'll get all the way to this corner here. Someone wanted to see Dragon Roost Island, and we can definitely do that. But yeah, this is the very end of the ocean, and like I said, very hard to control. Oh my goodness. Never had it this bad before. Hold on. Okay. Okay. We're getting a hold on this. Let's see. Beta64 asks, do islands load with a square of ocean, or do they load separately? Oh, I'm gonna scroll up for a second. Or do they load separately than the water? So the way that the oceans, or rather the islands work, is the game is constantly loading areas. And that's culling right there, for the record. Let me see if I can find an adjacent island real quick. But the idea is that the ocean loads in as well, but that's way, way further out. At a certain point, though, the game starts to load in islands from a great distance, and when it's at a very, very far distance, they use the minimalism trick. So when you see the island for the first time, it's not the actual island, it's a minimalized version of the island. And I think that's worth checking out too, but someone asked about Dragon Roost, and we'll check that out first, and then we'll sail away from it, and I'll show you what I mean. See, Brett678 asks, how am I? And I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. The channel's doing really good, which now matters a lot. I wish it wasn't nighttime all the time. That's kind of depressing. But, you know, since the channel's good, I'm good. And look at that 1 star. Okay. You know, one little special star for you. Anyways, here's Dragon Roost Island and I'm still gonna somehow pronounce this wrong, and people are gonna give me crap for it. But Valoo, that's how I pronounce it. Here he is resting at the top, and you can see that his tail is not looking so great when he's outside of the island. And they budded it off, so it doesn't even look quite right. Oh, hold on a second. No. Look at this. His tail is there. Hold on. A little too slow. There it is. Oh, would you look at that? All right. We'll just zoom that out again so you can get a perspective shot. That's definitely going in a Leftovers episode. That's for sure. Okay. Yep, and that's Link all the way down there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Where does the Helmarok King come from when he comes to bring Link to Ganon? Unfortunately, I won't be able to check that because I have a complete save file right now, so any cutscene related inquiries I'm not going to be able to do. We can go to the very end of the game, and we can do another tour of that desert area that is pretty much hidden away at any given moment. But aside from that, we can't really do any cutscene stuff. Okay, let's sail away, sail away, sail away. Oh, that's right. Let me move the camera so you can see. We'll speed it up too. Pretend that we have the red sail from HD. Someone just asked me how I got into NoClip, and it was entirely by accident. I've always had an interest in stuff like NoClip. Alright, can we? Oh, that's right. No, that doesn't make any sense. Why? Put it away. Put it away. There we go. Okay. Alright, So now at this point, the island should be minimalized, I believe. Anyways, someone asked me how I got into no clip. I've always had an interest into it. I was never big into the community that was kind of resting in the deepest, darkest bellows of the internet. Had no idea that you guys existed until I started really getting into it and using it as a platform for a show. But yeah, it happened. Discovering the no clip for GameCube and Wii games happened entirely by accident. And so when I started, doing the show, of course I explored more areas in which that I could do no clipping or free camera, and more and more and more, I found several other avenues in order to do the show. And of course, right from episode 1, I knew this is something that I would love to do all the time, because exploring video games is one of my favorite things. That's why Dark Souls and Zelda, those are some of my favorite games of all time. Earthbound, high-profile RPGs, they're my favorite because your character is on a journey. You get to explore. And the concept of the show is not that different from it. In fact, it answers all the questions that have been taunting my mind for a long time, which is, what is beyond certain areas that you're not allowed to go? And that's basically how I started growing an interest for this genre, I guess. Can you boundary break Zelda remakes? It's possible. There's someone that knows how to do camera work on the 3DS, and he basically explicitly said, I could do the Zelda games, I just gotta look into it. So that's a possibility. Although, I gotta be honest, I know you're not the only person to ask that question. Many people want episodes on the Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time remakes, but I gotta ask you guys, what's the interest, really? I mean, I know that it would have been preferred to the old school games because the graphics look better, but I can't imagine that there'd be a whole lot more to find just because, it's the same game, essentially. Oh. Let's try that again. Oh, one. Okay. Where is that? Oh, was it right there? Okay. I could have just used the pot. Ay, it's been a while. Okay. Let's see. What's the most surprising thing you found about Boundary Break? Well, there's a lot of things, and I can't really rank them. Although, if I ever want to do a top 10 list, I could always just pretend that one's more important than the other, when it's really not. But this is an example of one of the best discoveries that I found, which is, yes, this area is made out to be an environment for this cutscene, but there's so much more to it than just what they allow you to see. This is the Gerudo Desert, essentially. A part of Zelda lore that matters to a lot of people. And it's surprising how much they put into this. Like, for example, one of the things I found, and I gotta figure out where the mouse is, then I move the camera. Okay. Somewhere around here is a doorway, or a cave. And I know I showed you guys this already in the episode, but really quick, here's a full zoom out. Well, not a full zoom out. Here's the majority of the map in almost one shot. Okay. Trying to find. Someone asks if I'm boundary breaking Wind Waker to find connections to Breath of the Wild. No. I am not doing that. I'm not a lore guy by any means. There's people like Zeltic who can really get into the history of Zelda and connect it to various games. I am having a hard time. Oh, there it is. But I am just not one of those people. I can't pretend to be. So, no, I just really appreciate each Zelda as a standalone experience. But I do plan on boundary breaking Breath of the Wild, hopefully soon after its launch. Hopefully it won't take too long. But yes, here's a cave entrance that clearly, at some point, there was a purpose for this. You know? They wouldn't have done it for no reason. You certainly can't see it in the game. But there's Ganon's Tower. And then if you look over here, here's the cave. And of course, if we go into there, nothing's really going to happen. But someone just said that, someone just stated tiny cave, and you'd be wrong. Actually, that's a cave that's not necessarily tiny. It's about the same height as Ganondorf. It just looks tiny because there's so much land here. But again, if we look at... Oh, what's going on with Link? Do you see that? This is something I... Oh, that's not Link. That's Zelda. Okay. It looked like Link's hat. Now I feel like a buffoon. There's Link. Looking bewildered as ever. Can you check outside the water barrier thingy? That was asked by Ghost Giratina. And yes, I can. Let's do that. Oh, someone, I just want to get the name. Sorry, I'm going to keep the dialogue going while that happens. Someone else asked, are you excited for a Nintendo Switch? And if so, what game are you most excited about? I am always excited for a new Nintendo console. Sometimes I'm more excited about each one more than the other. And I'm not sugarcoating it. I promise you that. This is my truthful opinion. I am still excited for the Switch. Not quite as excited for it as I was for when the Nintendo Wii was first announced. But the games got me right off of my chair. And the one that I'm most excited about, of course, is Super Mario Odyssey. Because we're going back to our roots, baby. We got our hub world back. That's awesome. I can't wait. And that real world aesthetic for one of the areas, if not the hub world, that's interesting. Very Sonic Adventure 2-y, but it's going to have its Nintendo charm added to it, so I'm very curious to see how I'm going to feel about it. I already think it's really cool. Also, ARMS looks like it's going to be like not a sleeper hit, but it looks like it's going to be an underappreciated game. I think it's going to be really good. I love the character designs for it. I love bright colors, and well, I mean, that game supplies both. I also just like versus games. And it looks like there's going to be some amount of depth to it. So, you know, I wouldn't rule out... Oh, geez, did you see that? Oh, no! That's something I wish I had prepared for. I just... Dang it. Okay, hold on. I'm going to save state. We're going to come back to it. Oh, you know what? No, it's going to take too long. Yeah, it's going to take way too long to get back to that. There's basically a moment where Ganondorf looked ridiculous because he was off camera and he wasn't supposed to be. Ah. Oh well. See, I always thought that this Ganondorf was not such a bad guy because he constantly says, you know, I'm not going to kill you. Um, I don't know. It just seems like he just wants to have Hyrule a certain way. But it doesn't really seem like it's such a bad thing. I mean, the way the world is right now is kind of crappy. Everything's submerged in water. Why would you want that? You know? Okay, I'm gonna save state just to make sure I don't miss anything at this point. Okay. Oh. Slow it down. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. So, this is how the pose looks. It looks like he's looking up, right? But if we adjust the camera a little bit... Oh, no, he's still looking up. Never mind. But he is... Let me see where his trajectory is for his eyes right now. He's looking kind of above the Triforce at the moment. It's funny that the Triforce is still in the shot, though. Can you show the scene where Link is reaching for the king after the battle and the king dies? That would require me beating Ganondorf. I suppose I could. Here's something interesting that someone told me after I made this episode. It certainly looks like the king is touching the Triforce right now, doesn't it? Well, apparently, that's not exactly the case. Well, that's not as far away as he was making it out to be. Hold on one second. Someone's gonna make a meme out of this, please. It's like talk to the hand, because the face ain't listening. That's great. I'm gonna take a picture of that. One second. Now. Maybe later. He's definitely not touching the Triforce there. Whereas before, it was just barely not touching. Now it's quite obvious that he's not touching it. My boy. I like that the comments section is all doing the King of Hyrule impression. This piece is what all true warriors strive for. Alright. So someone just asked if there's permission to kick somebody and they're using multiple accounts. I'd say no, because you just don't know. Just continue. If they're doing something inappropriate, then just kick him, I suppose. Okay. So this was something that was fascinating to me, and it made the episode. The Triforce pieces touch each indent of the of Hyrule drowning, or submerging, essentially. So it's very, very clear that the Triforces are the cause of this, like directly the cause, and like the pattern of it is influenced by the Triforce itself. So Triforce 1, 2. And 3. By the way, if it looks like there's 2 Triforces there, it's an illusion. It's still just one, but the way that it's lit makes it look like there's more than one there, as you can see. Okay, yeah. If there's any very unsavory comments, then do what you gotta do, I suppose. So looking for questions now. Ganondorf. Ganondorf always manages to look silly in every game that I cover. Always. Sorry, I know that this is a little disorienting, but again. The dude just wants a hug. Come on, give Daddy a hug. Okay. Moving on. Thank you, Brent. Brent Cohn. By the way, this was the request to see a full zoom out of what it looks like outside of the submerging Hyrule. Apparently, they only cared enough to submerge Ganon's tower. Very selfish. Do I enjoy making Boundary Break? Absolutely. It's so much fun, dude. You have no idea. Like, I don't know how to describe it. The best part is that I get to play all the best games so that I can cover them, you know? So it's not work whatsoever. That's easily the best part, is I can play through the game and also experience it in an entirely new way. So it doesn't feel like a slog no matter what. Come on. Let's get another perspective of Ganondorf here. You think that the katanas are already in his, These are things I didn't consider in the early episodes of Boundary Break. Like, oh, I just found his swords! Dude, I just found his swords! I'm sorry, I'm getting way too excited here. So, guess where his swords are? You might not be able to see it because of the quality of the stream. Have you figured it out yet? You think it's inside of his sleeves? You'd be wrong. Check it out. You ready? There they are. That's how he does it. Oh man, I gotta do another episode of Wind Waker, clearly. What am I doing? There's so much stuff that I'm discovering right now. It's insane. Look at that. Get Rick Moranis in on this. Alright, now that we know where the swords come from, let's see him pull them out, quote unquote, from a front perspective. There you go. Did I find the Triforce in the middle of the ocean? No. No, I have not. Toothpick swords. I will do Xenoblade in the future. That's going to happen. People keep asking me about Resident Evil 7. I just finished Resident Evil 7. And I gotta admit, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not as big into it as everyone else is. I know it's a step in the right direction, because it's, you know, survival horror, which is what we've needed for the longest time. but I feel like it's missing so many elements from the original Resident Evil. Maybe I'm just an uncultured swine that just needs a remake of the game in that style. I don't know, but you know, I like I don't like the grindhouse feel of the game, but I guess that's a very petty thing to be concerned about, I suppose. Come on, bro. Now you get to see she says do terribly against Ganondorf. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This always felt wrong. Well, Link certainly wasn't a fan of it either. I don't even know if I have fairies, to be honest. Now there's a trick, if I recall, to making sure he gets hit by the arrow at the end. And I just don't remember what it is. Link, you have to distract him. Okay. Sorry, I know that this is a bit of a slog, but it's all for in-game content. Where did she go? Okay. Ba-boom, baby. Okay, so someone wanted to see the inside of his mouth, I guess. Oh, that's not happening. There you go. Yeah, a lot of the models are very simplistic, so you're not going to see a whole lot to his mouth. But there it is. I'll show you the boots again. Beta 64 asks, can I make these streams less interesting? He's trying to focus on his scripts. I can try. It just doesn't come naturally to me, you know? My streams are bomb. Ugh. I regret saying that already. Here's here's Ganondorf inside of the stone. Let's try to get it at a better angle. As you can see, he's still there at any given time. You can already see him kind of clipping into it already. But yeah, his body's actually in there all the way up to the point. The boots. Oh, that's right. Someone wanted to see the boots. Well, hold on. Here's the King of Hyrule's little shoes. He's got penny loafers. Looks like he has Skull Kid's shoes, doesn't it? Kind of similar. There you go. Make a fan theory based off of that. Alright, so here's Ganondorf's shoes. Wow. Okay, there you go. Ganondorf shoes. Ah, with finicky camera. This has to be the best stream that I've had so far, content-wise. People are trying to give you advice in the chat beta. That's really funny. Anything inside the stone? Just checked it. You're probably just catching up. Game theory is the king actually Skull Kid. And you know what? Calling it right now. Ugh. Ugh. I'm telling you, this is 100 times easier when I have this at full screen. Hold up. Okay. Just want to make sure there isn't anything funny going on there. Plastic beard. Matthew Harbutt asks, what games do I plan on doing in the future? One of the games I'm doing next week is Splatoon, and there's going to be a collaboration with Aurum, who, along with Megamew, made a code for Splatoon and made this episode possible. So that's going to be really exciting. I plan on doing more Nintendo 64 games like Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Snap may be in the cards. It's still difficult to do, but I think I might be able to do an episode on that. Excuse me. I shouldn't burp on stream. Xenoblade Chronicles is another one that I plan to do in the future. Promise. I might look into Silent Hill 3 to see if it's got a better situation than Silent Hill 2. And if it does, I'm finally going to give something to you Silent Hill fans. Promise. Well, promise that I'll try. I can't promise that it'll be an episode, but this is a good time to talk about why Silent Hill 2 did not become an episode. The reason why it didn't become an episode is because although I have the power to move the camera around in that game, the camera wants to snap back to where it's supposed to be at any given time. And that's the best that I have it at right now. And when I try to move it through walls, the camera really doesn't like that, which is what my show needs to do in order to be entertaining. So when I try to take the camera through any walls, it gets really, really jittery. Like, it just, like, the whole entire game is like my hand right now. It just goes like this. And you know, you, the viewer, are not going to appreciate that at all, no matter what we find behind the walls. So, it's just not a viable episode right now. And Silent Hill 3 may be different. It's got kind of like the same technology going on, but it might react to it differently. And so, based off of that, we might be able to make that an episode. I still haven't checked, so remain hopeful. Cover our Wii Sports Resort. I'll save state this just in case I'm missing something, but let's try to do some other islands. Oh, this one's a good one. Mother and Child Island, because, well, you'll see in a second. Wii Sports Resort is one that I already mentioned. I really want to do the on-rails Resident Evil games for the Wii. I feel like there's a lot hiding there. Let me hop off the boat. So, Mother and Child Island. You can only get here by warping. As you can see, there's the top there. But it's completely encased in stone, rock. So, what does it look like when we take the camera outside of that? Well, you'd be very happy to find out that that island is existing in a vast ocean at any given time. So the game certainly had nothing to hide, because even over here, there's things that are going on in real time. So again, when you're here, just chilling on this very secluded area, right through there is, a Goron and a raft, amongst many other things. So, although the sky looks really not depressing, but looks like doomsday out ahead. Which I guess is depressing. Are there treasure chests under the water when you spot them? Oh, dude, yeah, Marco Fantasy just asked me to moon jump there. Alright, let's try it out. There you go. Why not, right? Whoops. Oh, but I think there's an invisible wall. Could be wrong. No, I'm wrong. We're about to get there. And it just immediately turns to night. Okay. Here we go. Change your wind. Okay. I'm trying to find requests right now, sorry. Okay. Looks like we got nothing for right now. Ah! Let's just get away from that. Let's check that island off in the distance. Oh, jeez. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so that's their minimalism trick. They remove textures outright and just do a basic shape to represent the island. Looking at suggestions. In Outset Island, in the house with the roof that you can fly in, can we see what's outside the window when you're in there? Okay, I'm gonna give that a try. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, but we'll figure it out. The house that you can fly in. People are asking about Kingdom Hearts 2. I am very excited to say that that might happen sooner than later. Like I said, there's people working to make that happen. So it's not a cold lead at the moment. Someone asks, do people become low poly when you're far away? And no, that doesn't happen. At some point they disappear, but they don't become low poly. They're already fairly low poly, to be honest. It's a very smart style choice, but it's very intentional as well because it makes it easier to load everything in when they don't have complicated models. So, okay, so someone said you can fly into, I'm going to assume it's that place. Let's give it a try. Well, let's look at the crab up close. How about that? Here's the crab. Yep. There you go. Okay. Again, gonna assume that's... That has to be it. Okay. Someone asked what happens when you move the camera around in the menus. It's all 2D texture, so the answer is nothing really happens. Although, wait, I might be wrong. Oh, look at that. There's a texture that exists in a 3D plane. So, that green background, that, yeah, huh. That's funny. Good recommendation. So there you go. Okay, someone said from out here? You want to know what happens from out here. Okay. I didn't even know about this place. This is actually really cool. Learned something new. So that's what happens when you take the camera outside of this area. And I hope that this is what you were talking about. What time is it? Still got about 15 minutes. Let's see what happens when... Oh, you're not allowed to. Alright. Well, that's cool. Was there anything in particular here, or is... Bombs? Alright, I'll find that out later. You guys probably aren't interested in that. There was something I wanted to check out. I'm going to be done streaming in about 15 minutes. Someone just asked. Tingle's Cavern. Are you talking about Tingle's jail cell? Let me see. So this is what happens in a normal room. Been working on it, for the record. I know I got a lot of complaints about the way that I say room. That's how I naturally say it. That's okay. I'll roll with the masses. So, I don't think there was anything else here. Yeah, it was something else. So, someone keeps asking if I can do SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. And I'll be honest, I have absolutely no interest in doing that game. I never played licensed games in the GameCube PlayStation 2 era. I guess I'll say never, but I'm definitely going to cover all of the more iconic franchises first. So I'm sorry if that's not the answer you wanted, but that's where my mind's at as far as Battle for Bikini Bottom goes at the moment. do Tingle's house? Someone just asked, what happens when the crabs go underground? Good question. Are these two related? Oh! Character with glasses. Let's get a good look at that. I had no idea that he had eyes. I mean, clearly you can see them, but I had no idea. That's cool. I'm assuming that's underneath his glasses, right? I bet you... Oh, no. Okay. So if I was to remove this guy's glasses, which I can do, it would completely remove his eyeballs, because his eyeballs are the texture on the glasses. So, if you can see here, we take the camera behind his glasses, there's just nothing there. Which, that's a shame. Because I would love to just remove his glasses. I wouldn't have done it on the stream anyway, but, you know, for a future episode, I would have done it. But, looks like that can't happen. Alright, any other questions that I can answer before the stream's over? Someone just asked, Story Let's Play asks, would you do any of the Zelda-related... Sorry, hold on. Yeah, Zelda-related DS games. And, yeah, absolutely. Again, it's possible. Someone might make the camera for it. He said that he might. He hasn't contacted me about him discovering that code, so I wouldn't stay too hopeful. And honestly, I'm more excited about doing Breath of the Wild when that comes out. So we'll eventually get to the DS games. I'm almost certain of it. But right now, it's not a priority. And whether or not it's viable, it's looking that way. But it's not legit. It's not 100% viable just yet. What's... Ooh, Godwin Tabala asks, what's my favorite cartoon? My favorite cartoon... It might be Rick and Morty at this point. South Park has a much better track record. It's been around a lot longer, and I've liked a lot more of their episodes. So I should probably just say South Park, but man, I'm quoting the crap out of Rick and Morty right now. It's insane, and I can do a pretty solid Rick and Morty impression. Which my friends absolutely love. They can't get enough of my Rick and Morty impressions. And it's actually gotten kind of sad at this point because what ends up happening... I'm just going to explore one more area and then I'm going to take off. What ends up happening is they don't care about my opinions anymore. They'll say something that seems like crude or whatever, and then they'll be like, what does Rick think of this? And then I have to answer in the Rick voice. Or just... tell them to cut it out. So, alright, we're gonna have to... Looks like they just disappear, but let's find out. Yeah, just disappear, you guys. Okay, so... one more island. People are asking for the impression. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I can do it when I'm nervous. Gee, I don't know, Rick. I'm kind of nervous about doing the impression. Morty, you gotta do the impression, Morty. It's gonna entertain the fans, Morty. Come on. Gee, I don't know. Well, Morty, it's a good idea, trust me. No, they're not going to hate it. They're going to hate it. Alright. So, I didn't say I had the best impression. I'm not, what's his name? It's not Dan Harmon, it's the other one. Justin Roiland. Bless his beautiful soul. See, I wanna do this for you guys, but I feel like I'm not gonna be able to. There it is. Morty is good. Rick could use some work. Ooh, okay. Let's try that again. So the chest should be right underneath here. And that's what happens. So the chest isn't always there. Once the crane gets to the bottom, it kind of warps into the crane. And there you go. Okay, guys, I think that's it. No, I got 4 minutes left. Let's do it. Let's explore an island. Alright, I was hearing Tingle a lot. But they weren't saying Tingle Island, they were saying Tingle's Cave? Sorry, I'm reading the chat, looking for something worthwhile to answer. Someone asked, what consoles can you boundary break? And it's kind of spotty. There's only a couple of consoles that I can boundary break just about any game. Let's just say that nothing's off the table. The only ones that are officially off the table, and there's just no chance, are PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 exclusives, and PlayStation 4 exclusives, and Xbox One exclusives. So those are the only ones. And original Xbox exclusives. So those are the only ones that I can't do at all. Alright, PlayStation 2, I'm not going to say that I can't, because I'm working on it, first of all. And some games, they just allow you to do what I am trying to do with just codes, like regular Game Shark codes. So, those aren't off the table. Oh, but to clarify something, Halo games, I believe, are on the table. I gotta test it, but all signs point to yes. So, so Halo games, yeah. Supposedly, even on the 360 for Halo 3, I can just do it without any cheat codes or anything. So, you know, I want it. I want to be able to rep Halo. Halo's a huge franchise. And I believe both the PC releases of Halo 1 and 2 are possible. So. Look at this monstrosity. Oy. I never understood why all the Tingle people look exactly like Tingle. What is that? Oh! Okay, here's another interesting fact for you guys. The compass, or clock... No, that's a clock. The clock that's hanging around Tingle's neck is a cone. Look at that. Huh. That's a trick you see in some Nintendo games, but not all. Like the Animal Crossing series uses this a lot. The place behind the jail for Tingle. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of overtime here just so I can do that because so many people or one person was very persistent in asking about it. So we're gonna check out Tingle's jail, and then we're calling it a night. Oh, wait. Beta 64 said something. Aw, he's leaving. Alright, Beta 64. Take care, man. What am I doing? Here we go. Windfall. Someone just asked if I can boundary break my room. That is a Patreon goal. It's such a dumb goal too. I might just take that off. I do plan on boundary breaking my room because it just plays so well into the whole point of my show, you know. So, expect it at some point. But I kind of want it to be for something special. And it doesn't have to be the Patreon. I don't like putting things behind a paywall anyway. But I thought that idea was silly enough that people wouldn't get offended by the idea of putting it behind a paywall. That's why I did that. I didn't want to make it like, well, if you guys want Halo, give me $60,000, please. Like, I definitely didn't want to do that. But I don't know. Where the heck is that jail? Is it this way? I think it's this way. I thought it was this way. Ah, it was. Okay, so people wanted to see Tingle's crib. There you go, people. Isn't it awesome? So, really quick, there's the jerkwad mice that make you fall out of the puzzle, or I'm sorry, the maze. There's 4 in total. And here is the creepy little place with mushrooms and skulls. And, I never thought much of it, but then game theorists were like, oh yeah, people died in here trying to escape. Can't you see all the skulls? They're dead. And I was like, dang. I never put into those, like, I never thought of that, but that wasn't even the theory. That was just aiding his theory. I don't remember which theory it was. Someone can tell me. But yeah, that's it. That's the stream, folks. Did you have fun? Let me know. I'm going to stick around for about 5 to 10 minutes after the stream is over. So, just to hang out for a bit. But I hope you guys had fun. Hope I didn't embarrass myself too much. I want to thank Beta64 for being a part of the stream. I want to thank SwankyBox for giving me that recommendation to start the stream with. Thank you, sir. And, yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoy the Splatoon episode coming this week. It's going to have Aurum as a collaborator. So, look forward to it. Bye, guys.